What up, fam? Hit that like, hit that subscribe. 1098 Major Move Talk.
That's my baby. That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they did it! They did it!
Left, feet left.
What the hell was that?
Oh, yeah! What the fuck are you talking about? Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
What's up, everybody? Monday morning quarterback only on A2D Radio. We are brought to you by the Counseling Center and Sunrise Detox. And we know many of us and our families deal with mental health and addiction issues. We are happy to support the Counseling Center and Sunrise Detox. If you need help, please reach out to our guy, Rob Lutman. Let him know we sent you. 856-651-8117. You can find all his information right down below. Tom Arnone, Ryan Broder, the family out there. Welcome in. We got a lot of fun things to talk about. Right? You got to get creative this time of year. I mean, we talk Phillies. I talked Phillies last night, so I know Ryan is understanding that. He's understanding. You know, an understanding guy. Understood. I just dove into the Phillies for an hour and a half last night. That's what we do here. We circle everything. 4 for 4 with a side piece. You know what I mean? 4 for 4 with a side piece. The latest Eagles news and Phillies news. We'll touch on both at the end of the show. NBA Splash or Crash Edition. So we'll play a little game there. That'll be a good time. We got a lot of things there in terms of the standings last year. Will they hold up per se, or will it be a crash, or you're gonna have some lower seeds maybe splash you? So that'll be fun. NBA offseason predictions. We got a ton of names to dive into, and we're gonna let you know where we think they go, or do they stay? So another game. We're gonna get a freaking game show. We're gonna get two game show hosts tonight. I was waiting for something. Sixers offseason predictions is our main topic at hand, and that's brought to you by our friends at bodycheckwellness.com. And you can use the promo code A2D. Get yourself 20% out at checkout. That's bodycheckwellness.com. Promo code A2D, 20% off at checkout. Great products. I use the Clarity and Focus. You also have you get a million things from the CBD oils to the gummies to the topicals to the blends, extracts, a little bit of everything for everybody, and it really helps you treat your body well. So bodycheckwellness.com, promo code A2D, 20% off at checkout. Our poll question for the show, the Sixers will decide not to make any major moves this offseason. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. That's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the follow. Join the conversation. If you love to fuck with algorithms, I always say it. Pound the like, pound the subscribe, okay? Be a difference maker. Be a difference maker in life. It's all you got. It's all you got. And try to,
Oh, I like that.
Be great. Be great and pound the like.
Be great today.
Be great today and fuck with an algorithm. The Sixers, that's what we're trying to do. The Sixers will decide not to make any major moves this offseason. Agree or disagree. Comment in. We read them all off. You know how this works. We'll talk about our A2D memberships throughout the show. And we'll also talk about our great friends at Manscape, because I got a nice little summer read coming for the people. Nice little summer read. I already know, like, we don't do a long pre-show here. You know what I mean? We get in, we quick talk. You know what I mean? Get our cobwebs out of talking, and we're ready to go. And our quick talk was, which way are you going? You know what I mean? Agree, disagree radio, and we try to be different. We try to get the other argument to things. So I know where Rye's going. I don't want to take away his thunder, but I'm gonna agree, because we talk about major moves or splashes. They're splash moves. So for the sake of argument, I'll agree And I'll agree that they're not going to make any major moves. Do I see some moves coming? Yeah, I think there is things that can still come, though. I also fully, without playing devil's advocate on this show, I fully believe they're all in on Damian Lillard. Until I hear otherwise. I'm all in. I still think that happens. But there's still a chance of that not happening. And if that doesn't happen, I don't think Daryl Morey is an idiot. I really don't. He's been doing this a long time. So if you think it's Ben Simmons going, if it's not a deal for Damian Lillard or another name surfaces, right? Besides the names we talked ad nauseum, then I'm going to say that there isn't any splashes. That's my caveat to that, right? Like, because I more disagree than agree on this poll question. But for the sake of argument's sake, I'm going to say if it's not Dame, I don't think he makes the move for some of these other guys. I just don't see it. That's why I agree. I don't think it might not be the same starting five, right? Like we talked about. And even if it is, I could see them getting veterans for this bench too. I could see them doing things like that. So I don't think that necessarily would stay the same. They would try to upgrade what they think their weak spots are. And we know, I said it ad nauseum, right? I am pissed off at Ben Simmons. I'm pissed off at him. But I'm not just giving him away because somebody else is going to see a guy who's a freak athlete, can do a lot of good things on the basketball court as well as bad, right? And they think, you know what? Here he'll be different, and here we can win. Yeah, listen, Jake, Daryl's not a guy who sits on his hands a lot. But I do not think he does. Think about this for 1 second, people. I need the people to think about this. Take a step back and think. Do you want, and I know this is probably a bad narrative, but dude, Daryl Morey is a thinker like everybody else. Mm-hmm. Do you want to be the guy who trades this guy and he figures it the fuck out? Not saying he will, but in the back of your head as a general manager and a president of basketball operations, does Elton Brand and Daryl Morey want to be the guys known for that, trading him for less value, and he figures it out? Hear me out. Less value. Not for his value. So if you're talking about Dame, if you're talking about the likes of stars in this league, like top 10 players, hear me out. Top 10 players in this league, you don't want to be the guy to trade them for I'll throw the name, for Zach LaVine, and Ben figures it out somewhere else. You just don't want to be that guy. You got to think about that too. So if it's not for Dame, I agree to the poll. I don't think there's any major moves in terms of splashes coming here if it's not him. If it's not him, there could be upgrades, bench-wise, veteran-wise, like I talked about. Buzzy, I'm not telling you. This is where this is why I can never go on outside of Dame, I'm not trading them game, right? Because people automatically think that I think he's going to figure it out here. Buzzy, I'm not telling you he's going to figure it out here, somewhere else, freaking Australia. I'm not telling you he's figuring it out, period. That's not my game here. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying you don't want to have egg on your face known for the guy to do that. Unless it's for a freaking Damian Lillard or a guy that you know you're walking down goddamn Broad Street with. Simple as that. Simple as that. If you want to tell me other guys make this team better, I'm going to laugh in your face because this team was just a 1 seed. Right? And 1 seeds are fun too. 1 seeds are fun. God damn it. You know what I mean? God damn it. 1 seeds are a good time. We sat through a process. I'm not going to trade him for fucking losers. I'm not trading him for losers even though he might be one. In crunch time. He might be one. But if you're a vice president of basketball operations and you have a name like Daryl and you know the game enough and you think there's any chance of salvage, you don't make the move. You don't make it. You don't make it for the Zach LaVines of the world. You're making this for top 10 players and you're giving up more. It's not just Ben. It's like what Pete said. It's Maxey. It's other guys going. It's other guys going. And you can absolutely, we have more to offer for Damian Lillard than anybody in the goddamn league. Anybody. Golden State's going to offer Wiggins and Wiseman. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. It's not a better deal. It's not a better deal than Maxey and Simmons. It's not a better freaking deal. We have more to give. So don't lie. Don't tell me. Oh, go ahead. I just can't. People automatically assume. Which
one? So I can put them on.
All of them.
All
Todd. Todd's in here. Do you have a clue? I have a big time clue. Zach LaVine might not make this team better. Damian Lillard does.
I will give you. Well, this is good actually, Tom. It looks like Zach LaVine is off the table. He's staying. He's shutting down on Twitter and Instagram the whole thing of, hey, he wants to go back to Chicago. I'm not saying it's a good move, but
good.
We might be able to wipe that name from the board. I will say and it's a great point, Tom, as far as like, do we want to be the organization that passes on Ben Simmons and then Ben Simmons goes to Sacramento or Todd's not talking to you, by the way, Tom. I'm just responding to a comment, sorry, I guess. Do you want to be the organization that passes on Ben Simmons and he goes to Team X and then he figures it out? No, that's not great. But devil's advocate wise, on the flip side, do we want to be the organization, kind of like what we saw with the Eagles, with Donovan, and the Sixers early 2000s with Allen Iverson, that didn't go out and make a risk to get our guy Joel Embiid serious help? Do we want to look back on this 5, 10, 15 years from now and say, well, damn, maybe if we couldn't have gotten Dame, maybe Dame was unattainable. Maybe he wanted to stay in Portland and get swept in the first round like he did 5 out of 6 years, or not swept, but get eliminated. But would we have done better with the risk of just adding some other guy to just help out our star, a top 5 player, maybe sometimes the best player in the league, that is Joel Embiid? Do we want that on our resume? And that's what Daryl's got to think about. It's about, okay, what are we losing and what are we risking by moving on from Ben? But what are we risking by hanging on to him?
It's not about the risk of getting rid of them if it's for the right player.
Mm-hmm. Because it could both pan out. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could win 2 titles with Dame, and then Simmons can end up on whatever team he goes to, whether it's Portland and just a 1-for-1 or whatever, and he could have a really good career. So there is a world where it can pan out for both sides. Yeah,
and there's a world that it can not pan out for us or not pan out for the other team too, right? Mm-hmm. When we talk about the lesser names, that's all. Like, if it's not a top 10, a top 15 name, I just don't know why he makes that deal.
So you're saying, the reason why you agree to the poll is that you do not see a panic type move in the future for the Sixers or Daryl Morey, for example. That
he's
not going to just trade him to trade him.
Yeah, not this year. No, he will not. Okay. I just don't believe in that. I don't believe in that because they also look at it as their first year around him. So the insanity that we've dealt with isn't the same for them. Right?
Makes sense.
It's not the same. Besides Alton Brand, it's not the same for anybody else there. Right? And we have to factor that into the conversation. Do I think Daryl makes moves? That's Daryl's MO. That's Daryl's MO. Now, that doesn't always have to be splash moves. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be. I mean, they already made good moves this past all season. In Seth and Danny and Dwight. Could I see another veteran like that coming in? And bring Danny back? Yeah. I can see that. Where they lengthen themselves.
Now, I'll ask you, before I even answer the poll, do you see a world, realistically, I mean, there's always a chance, especially with Daryl, but do you see a realistic chance that if Ben isn't dealt, that maybe Tobias could be the move? Now, we've talked about it before, that Tobias, that market is a little bit more difficult to gauge, right?
Yeah.
Just about, you know what I'm saying? Because he doesn't have that peak upside like Simmons does, at least projected-wise.
Yep.
But he's a borderline all-star, and he's also come up small in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So could you see a world where, maybe the draft passes and Dame isn't available, and you see Sacramento, they're not willing to give up De'Aaron and Zach, like all the bigger names are gone, but Daryl says, okay, what can I get for Tobias?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's possible. You know what I mean? I could see them holding on to obviously Joe and Ben and saying, let me change up this second option. But he had a good year under Doc. How does Doc feel about him as a player? I think obviously matters in this conversation. But yeah, I mean, I would trade Tobias for the right deal because Tobias is a good dude. So like factor that in the locker rooms. He's an unselfish guy, blah, 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 right? So to me, it just has to be for the right guy. Again, I'm not trading Tobias Harris just to trade him. Not saying you said that, like in general. Like I think all these deals, and I'm not trying to use that cop out, have to be the right deals.
Of course, yeah.
Because we're looking to get better. So we're not looking just to say like, oh, you know what, we were a 5 seed, we're going nowhere. Second round exit again. No, we were a 1 seed, second round exit again.
Mm-hmm.
But we were the 1. So I mean, you're getting better as a basketball team. You're getting better, and that's year 1 with Doc as your head coach. I mean, that's year 1 with trying to set a culture. That doesn't happen overnight. You know what I mean? You're not coming in somewhere and just winning your year 1. So it was an accomplishment through COVID year to be a 1 seed. And no, the playoffs were not an accomplishment. I'm talking about as a head coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about like a head coach like coming in here and changing it. So who knows? Who knows?
It's really tough. And like, I'll just say this real quick, just though I answer the poll. I'll say the same thing I said to you briefly before the show. He's got to do something, right? Like, he's got to do something. Like, I know I'm like on top of the list as far as trade machine. You can have 5-6 guys that you can get for Ben, but he's got to do something. Just because, like,
does he?
You would think.
Like,
I mean,
right
yeah.
Now. Like before the season starts. Like, does he have to do something before the season starts?
No. Well, see, I'm glad you said that, because as much as I have been on my high horse the last couple weeks about, you've got to get a deal done by the draft or by September, there is a scenario where you can go into it this year with the same core intact. Maybe Danny Green's not back, but whatever. Like a very similar roster, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you go and you do what you don't do. You do the opposite of what you did at the trade deadline last year, and then you make a splash at the deadline. You know what I'm saying? To where, okay, you make he's not going to be available, but like a Kyle Lowry-ish type move, where you take the same core into the season, you see what you have, let's build on what you had. Maybe Tyrese Tyrese is, he's going to get better because he got better in year 1.
Yeah.
You vouch on the improvement of the players you already have, and then you fill in the gaps via the trade deadline.
Yeah.
So, like we talked about,
you have nothing to lose. Really.
No, and like I would remind,
if you're banking on Matisse and Maxey getting better,
mm-hmm.
which they both have, right,
in
different roles, right, and then even in your head a little bit, if you can say, okay, can Ben get better? Like as Daryl Morey's first year around him, right? Remember, I'm speaking as a general manager's 1 year around him. We speak for 5 years. We're different as fans.
Mm-hmm.
Like I speak for 5 of watching insanity with Ben Simmons. I'm speaking for 5. I'm playing devil's advocate that the other guy saying, you know what? I can almost run this back in a way. Shout out to our boy DJ Eastwood. I can almost run this back and say, you know what? And upgrade the bench, right? Upgrade bench pieces and then bank on Maxey and Matisse getting better and having even bigger roles for this basketball team. So when we go 8-9, where we can run you. And we have scoring all over. That's the difference. So, like, I can take Ben out, put Tyrese in, and I don't give a shit. Right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what's going to happen if he doesn't do the things that they were going to say you need to do. Right? Yeah. Tobias for Beal, I don't see it. I saw that. Like, I don't know why Washington does that. So that's the thing. I'm not getting somebody better for Tobias Harris. I'm just not, Pandol. You know what I mean? I love it. I would do it. But I'm not getting somebody better. Tobias for CJ.
That's very close because I think they are carbon copies of each other. I just think Tobias is a little bit better on. He's better on defense. Yeah, Tobias is better on defense.
He is, but defense didn't matter in the playoffs. But still,
no, and CJ hasn't had great playoff performances, but he's been better in the playoffs than Tobias. So it's kind of like you're weighing pros and cons. It's like, okay, you can rely Tobias on more, on defense, but. Yeah. you have to factor in what are they going to turn into in the playoffs.
Well, look at Milwaukee. I mean, they're beating you up. They're beating you up with physicality. They're beating you up with size, right? And we have a roster, per se, if it came back as is, that has that ability, right? That has ability for their size to take over basketball games. We have not seen that in the postseason. We've seen it in regular season games. We've seen it there. But, I mean, Danny Green's the whole reason we didn't go to an Eastern Conference final. But people won't agree with that, and that's fine. That's the reason we didn't go. Him getting hurt changes everything. We weren't good enough outside of our starting five. So,
well, for anybody who disagrees, I would just limit this whole thing to Game 7 alone. And I don't care if you want to talk about matchups, not you, but the fam at home that may disagree. If Danny Green is in there, Game 7, you don't see the Kevin Huerter game.
No,
Danny slows that down. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Kevin Huerter, it's definitely not going for those types of numbers.
No, God, no.
Green when he matched up against a smaller Seth Curry. I mean, remember that. Not you, the people. Like, remember, talking about a 6'3" Seth Curry, 6 whatever he is, right? Matched up against a 6'8" guy, 6'7" in Huerter. I mean, Herter's tall, so that's not a intriguing matchup for the Sixers, and Seth's already not a good enough, not only not a good enough defender. So Danny absolutely slows that down, right, to your point. And that changes Game 7. And I'm not making excuses for, like, everybody says, oh, you're making excuses for Ben. This has nothing to do with Ben. We know what Ben did. I'm just saying that this team goes to the Eastern Conference Finals if Danny Green didn't get hurt. So as a general manager, you know that. And even Doc knows that. When Doc said, Danny, you're not going anywhere right after Game 7 to him. Mm-hmm. Come on. I mean, they know that. They have common sense here to a point.
Well, that's why I remind people, and we talked about this last week, as heartbreaking and as this whole playoff, season has been for 76ers, and as bad as it seems right now. I mean, I still haven't recovered. No, I don't think a lot of people have even recovered from it. It's not like this team is far away from where we need to be. Like, Tom, you always talk about it. And I, get in arguments with you when when you bring up the 1 seed and I say, well, Tom, what did the 1 seed mean in the end of it if it's a second round exit? But really, I have to remind myself, and I think a lot of us have to remind ourselves, that number 1 seed this time last year seemed unattainable. We didn't think we'd be a number 1 seed, or I would say a big portion of us didn't think so.
No, these people are crazy out there. Like, don't tell me that they weren't a legit 1 seed. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous to say. Don't tell me Danny Green doesn't matter. Right? Don't tell me that stuff doesn't matter. They still didn't get it done. Who's made? Like, you guys are acting like because I said they're going to Eastern Conference Final that they were going to win it, and they were like this loaded team. I'm just telling you they're a 1 seed, like Milwaukee's been for the last X amount of years, and didn't get it done. We're right there. Mm-hmm. We're right there as that same type of team. But the difference is we made improvements. We were a better basketball team. We all watched this team in the regular season. Like, this was a good basketball team. Yeah. Panic moves don't necessarily mean you win shit if you're panicking as a GM or a president of basketball operations. That doesn't mean, you know what I mean? That's a bad way to operate.
That's the thing. And I know it becomes a theme the last handful of years for the Sixers. It's not about who we got beat by. It's about how we beat ourselves.
Yeah.
But really, the sentiment after we got eliminated wasn't, oh, well, if we would have had Dame or Lowry or De'Aaron or Beal, like, sure, if you would have plugged them in, we would have been a better team. But that wasn't the first thing we thought of. It was if Doc was better, if Ben was better, if Tobias was better, if Joel was healthy. Those are all things, because all of them are on a contract still, that Daryl Morey in this organization can be thinking about. Is that, okay, everything that kept us from being where we wanted to be, at least in the playoffs, we can control. If Ben comes back better, if Tobias comes back in the playoffs better, if Embiid stays healthy, if Doc actually wakes the hell up and doesn't play 12 people in the freaking Game 7, all those things they can control. You know what I mean? So as much as I say, oh, well, the easier thing, and while it is just to trade Ben in a package for Dame or Ben in a package for whoever.
No, that is the easy thing. That one.
Yes, because it's a light switch. It's a light switch.
Aren't as easy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we need Simmons to be something he's.
Well, you definitely think he's going. Sorry, you definitely think he's going.
Yes, I do. I think the only way
Yeah, I can't believe that we don't see eye to eye on this because it's great. It's great we don't.
Mhm.
Like, it's great. You're working. This is how you're working before you go ahead and say what you're going to say.
Yeah.
You're working in panic mode, which is fine. Because you watch the same shit I watch. I get it.
I'll say this one thing. I'm not working in panic mode. I'm working in hatred. There's a difference.
Yeah, okay.
Not necessarily, it's hatred. It's hatred. Because as much as it's a mixture of hatred and creativity, because I think there are a ton more moves that can involve Simmons going elsewhere and us being better than it would be Simmons coming back here and being something that he really hasn't shown us to be since maybe his rookie year.
Can we still be a better team?
Say that again?
Can we still be a better team? Can we still win?
By moving Ben, you mean?
No, but keeping it like Jason Bennett said, run it back, like, and just like a couple tweaks on your bench.
Yes.
Why can't this team be better? We all believe in Tyrese Maxey, right? Like, we all believe in Maxey's development, right? So that's a big second year piece to have, right? Because guys' numbers go up in year 2. Huge second piece to have. All right, and Matisse, his defense, what he brings to the table. So there's 2 young guys, and then you have Shake, who's young. So if they I don't know, if they might not even have to bring anything back if they believe in those guys. If they just believe in Maxey enough. Plus, you got to pick this year that you don't know what it's going to be. So at the end of the day, could they run it back and bring back Danny Green and bring back Dwight Howard, right? And say we're gonna try it again. Could they do that? They could, I guess.
I do want to pass this along to you, and like I know I'm 99% sure what you're going to say based off of this, but right after we got off the air last Monday, Rich Hoffman went on the dial, or one of the local stations in Philly, and he said his report was that going back to this Simmons Pacers deal, right? The initial move proposal was Brogdon in a first, and then like a player. It probably would have been Warren or something for Simmons, and Daryl reportedly turned it down. Rich Hoffman said that what he's hearing out of Indiana is that a trade could be revisited, and I didn't even think this was possible because I still to this day don't believe the Pacers would do this, but according to him, they would, where we would send Simmons, George Hill, and like a pick maybe, even if we needed to the Pacers for Malcolm Brogdon and Karis LeVert. If you were able to get those 2 players, while in turn, you're not moving Maxey, you're not moving Matisse. I understand that doesn't scream Damian Lillard, but do you guys realize how deep that team would be? And how movable those contracts would be also? Brogdon, who's a really underrated player. Karis LeVert's a flat-out bucket. So you have an extremely deep starting 5, and you still have Maxey. You know what I'm saying? You still have all those guys. Would you be intrigued if that came around, let's say, mid-August, after the draft comes around?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, that definitely is a good trade. Now, would a guy like LeVert come off your bench? Right?
No, I think he would probably.
I'm just making a point. Like, you're looking for a 6'7" guy, a 1-2 punch off your bench with Maxey and LeVert, because that's what you're looking to have, especially for regular season, because you want to bring Danny back, right? So if you bring Danny back, that 1-2 punch off your bench. I mean, that's a good start. Matisse, Dwight, and Shake, and you go to work. You know what I mean? Yeah. You go to work. I mean, that's a loaded up roster in my opinion, and you got a lot of scoring in your backcourt. And you bring that LeVert off the bench, and that gives you that almost – him and Maxey give you not – man, I mean, you talking about 2 guys that have a chance to go for 6th man of the year on the same roster. And another guy in Shake Milton that was in that running before he just flat out disappeared, right? So before he got hurt, and then this wasn't the same. So, Robert, I mean, I'm just making the point that you're looking for offense off your bench. That's what teams look for. They look for that second unit to give them a spark, and that's a second unit that absolutely gives you a spark. Come on, think about what I'm saying. You want Danny in. You want Danny in for his defense. You have enough scoring where you're starting 5 there, Brogdon's going to score.
Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, my biggest criticism of Brogdon is just he's just been banged up the last couple of years, but he's really underrated.
I mean,
LeVert, I mean, he's killed us his entire career.
Yeah.
He's an instant bucket.
I mean, that's cool. I mean, that's like something I would consider. Yeah.
Like I say, like it's not the splashy, it's not the the Dame or the Bradley Beals, but I'm almost wondering if you can get two players like that aren't making the max. I think they're both making around. I know Brogdon's making around 21 million, and I think LeVert's around the same thing.
Yeah,
they're extremely movable. You know what I mean? And then you can fill up your bench. You're not top heavy. That's one of the deepest teams in the at least in the East. And it may not have the star power. It might not be viewed as a super team per se. But I mean, you look at the friggin' Suns. Before the year, they weren't viewed as a super team because everyone was saying, "Oh, we don't know what Booker is in the playoffs, and we don't know what DeAndre Ayton is."
Yep.
And
it's a good deal. It's a solid deal. I mean, a lot of it depends on, can Brogdon stay on the court?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what makes it a good deal. You get those two. I want to just do it for LeVert, right? So it's like, can he stay on the court? And that's the only thing that you could argue per se, right?
Now,
it's the only part of it. Let me get this out real quick. Well, we got a lot of people in here. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code HD at manscaped.com. And the Olympics, Euros, baseball, major championships, concerts are all in this summer. You know what isn't? A wild and hairy bush. Take your pubes with the help from our friends at Manscaped, the leaders in below-the-waist grooming. Their fourth-generation performance package includes a brand-new Lawnmower 4.0. Got mine. Delicious. If an athlete treats their body like royalty, why not treat your pubes like Olympic gold? Fellas, do right by your balls and join 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com with the code A2D for 20% off and free shipping. Talk about a world-class discount into a post-quarantine world. This package includes the perfect package for your package and peak performance in whatever sport you desire. And you know what code to use. Thanks, Andy, for putting together the longest read of all time for me. Appreciate you.
You guys want to dive into? I say you guys. I'm only talking to you.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, what are you guys?
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
You want to dive into the player predictions?
Absolutely.
So, fam, we came up with a list a little while ago of some of the most notable names, not just free agents, but some names that have been rumored to make a move this offseason.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to predict where they will land and who they will be playing for game one of this coming season. And then once every move is made, we're going to revisit this list on an upcoming Monday. Might be in 6 months from now, whenever all these moves are made. And we're going to see who was right more, who had more correct predictions. So, fam, feel free to play along with us, obviously. And if we miss any names, let us know also. So we'll start, obviously, with the two names, or the biggest name that we talk about. Tom, what is your official prediction for Damian Lillard? Where will he play at the start of the year? What team?
I don't know. I feel like he's done there. I know people are going to tell me, oh, no, he retracted it. And it was,
he basically told you, I'm going to be gone, but I don't want to say it.
Yeah.
He's being classy by it. He basically said, I'm not pulling a Harden.
Yeah, we're going to work together and then just get me out of here.
Yeah, and he's not going to go out and command a trade because he wants to work with the team and get top value.
Yeah, I don't think he plays there. I don't know. I think I want my thing is I want him to come here. You know what I mean? That's where I want him to be. I still feel like we have the best odds of landing him. I still think that's possible. So for fun, I know I agreed to the poll for argument's sake, but I was outside of Dame. So I think it's going to happen. I don't know why. I just feel like we're going to get Damian Lillard. I don't know why. I don't know why. So I'm going to say Sixers.
Well, I'm right there with you. I say Sixers.
Nice.
I just think with Daryl Morey, he's willing to go to the end of the earth to get somebody like him. He went mid-season and got Harden in all intents and purposes before Fertitta was like, oh, no, not him. Not him. No, I'm not going to help him. I just think it's one of those situations that makes perfect sense. And I just see him being here. I just do. I do. I just think, listen.
You guys agree with Lillard coming here. Hit the damn like.
Yeah, damn right.
Hit that like button. Let's go. Hit the subscribe.
Simmons. So we both have Dame here. So that means Simmons has to go somewhere. Where will he play? Will he just go right to the Blazers, Tom, or do you see him ending up in a 3-team deal and going elsewhere?
I don't think he needed to be a 3-teamer. So I'll say he's playing in Portland.
I do believe it's going to be a 3-teamer. I believe Ben Simmons will be on the Minnesota Timberwolves.
I agree with Joe. Yeah, I mean, it's possible.
Yeah,
it's possible that it's a 3-teamer like that. Teams like to do those. So, yeah, I mean, it's very doable. Timberwolves, Blazers, either one, smaller market.
And I think both, because there's still that semblance out there of like, oh, well, maybe the Blazers aren't interested in Ben, but they're interested in assets they can get through a Ben Simmons trade, right? Well, we all know Minnesota is infatuated with Ben. They want to have some kind of core of either D'Angelo Russell, Simmons, and Cat, or Edwards, Simmons, and Cat. So whatever the Minnesota Timberwolves send the Blazers, whether that's an additional couple picks or maybe Edwards or D'Angelo Russell, for example, I think that would put it over the edge to get Portland to do it, while us sending picks, Maxey if we need to, Matisse if we need to, Shake if we need to. So I think the combines
make it work.
Yeah, it would be perfect for all three sides.
Travis, I think it'd be Ben, Maxey, and a pick, probably.
Yeah.
If you do. But these deals always come in smaller than I think they are, too. Yeah. It's always like you give up less, and you're like, wait, well, we got to pick back. What? You know what I mean? Like, what? What happened? So you never know how they go.
The next big name, and this would be a free agency signing. Where do you see Kawhi Leonard going this offseason?
Right where he's at.
I agree.
I think he's back with the Clippers. I mean, there's a reason he went out there.
Exactly.
And
I think this injury thing is going to cause him to stay also, because he might have to take a year off.
Yeah, there's that factor in it too. We can go up and cheer from the suite again. Oh, John says Miami. Okay. You know what I mean? I guess it's possible.
For Kawhi?
I don't know. That's what he wrote in.
Oh, I'll be upset.
Said Miami.
I don't need that, John. I don't need that, John.
I think he stays.
Yeah, me too. I've been trying to talk Kawhi to the Mavericks into existence for like a year, but I think there's other moves that I think make sense. I mean, Kawhi is the cream of the crop, especially if he can stay healthy, but I don't see him.
That's what they're doing in here. Not enough people are hitting the like button. I don't like it. Not enough people like fucking with algorithms in their life. Do something different. Be great today.
Does no one want to be great today?
Come on. You want Ben traded, pound the like. If you want him to stay here, pound the like. Either way, pound it. Okay, go ahead. Next one.
The next one, Chris Paul, and he was on a player option, but he's gonna deny that. Where do you see him going?
I'm gonna say back to Phoenix.
Me too. I don't buy any of this Knicks stuff. I don't.
No, well, for why? You can't go. Yeah, no.
You're gonna go there and you're gonna take money to be worse.
I mean, Phoenix is a good place to live,
and he's still gonna get 3 years, like 100.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good place to live, dude. He's, you got palm trees. You got to deal with anything else.
Oh, Don's saying Knicks. Sorry, Don. I disagree. This is an interesting one. I'm sure there'll be a lot of Philadelphia names in this one. Kyle Lowry, free agent.
Lakers.
Oh God. I almost said two. I almost said. So that would probably be a sign and trade. Where they would send like maybe Kuzma and a pick or something. I actually have Miami Heat.
Wasn't he a free agent?
Yeah, but I think they would have to do sign and trade because of the contract, like the money with the Lakers or something.
Because the Lakers, they lose Schroeder's money, don't they? So
depending on they can't bring in both. You know what I'm saying? So say Schroeder.
They lose Schroeder and they sign Lowry. That's where I was going with it.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, in context,
okay. And then like Montrezl Harrell goes. So you know what I'm saying? So they get rid of some guys and then
these guys, dude, they'll sign for less there.
Yeah, fair. That's fair.
You know what I mean? It's like LeBron gives them money. Like on the side. Like, well, hey, a little walking around money. I got you on all your dinners. You know what I mean? Like that. I swear that's how it goes. And if you agree with that, hit the like button again. You know, pound the subscribe. Pound them all. Turn your damn fucking bells on. 17 live shows a week. Turn it on.
Troy, I can really see that also. Them being the second star along with Luka.
I just feel like he needs the ball in his hands a little bit more for that. But I hear you. I mean, it's a good back. I mean, great backcourt.
If Lowry goes to the Heat, everyone, and they bring back, their same guys, how threatened are you by the Heat? Or does that not really change much to you?
I mean, I think they're good.
Mm-hmm.
But
like 5 seed, right? 4 or 5 seed.
Yeah, I mean,
gritty in the playoffs.
That's probably their ceiling, maybe 3. They're tough.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'd be tough. I mean,
2 of their big guys are always banged up, though. I mean, Lowry and Butler, I mean, they haven't been the exact definition of health the last couple of years.
No. I think that hurt them. I think this break's great for both of them, honestly.
Yes.
I think you'll get a better year next year from those guys. So, no, I mean, they're tough. I mean, it makes them better. You know what I mean? How much better? I don't know, but it makes them better.
Riz, we can, but we would need him to take an extreme discount to come here on like a Danny Green type deal.
What, like 10 million?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, is that even that much of a discount? Like, that's $10 million.
I would say it's a discount based off of what he's been trying to get the last couple of years.
What's he been trying to get? Like,
he's been 30? Trying to get a big extension from Toronto. That's why.
Like 30? Is that what I'm saying? Like 30?
Like 25, I think. Upper 20s. That would, at least this time last year, that's what it was. That's what the deal was. Yes. And that's why a lot of people didn't want him coming to Philly, because it was like, okay, are you going to trade for him at the deadline and then pay him that cash? Or are you just going to trade? Like, that's why I was against it at the deadline, because I'm not going to trade Maxey or Matisse and a pick for Lowry when I just have to pay him again, or he's just a rental. You know what I mean? It's tough. But I mean, if he's willing to take a discount compared to what he's wanted to come here, then yeah, I'm okay with it. I don't know if I love the fit, not him with Embiid. The fit with him makes sense, but I then don't know what happens to Simmons. Like, does Simmons become Toronto Raptors series Simmons, where he just goes in the corner and stands? I mean, it's not that much different than what he does now, but he just goes onto the rim and stands there. But you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's all about fit, right? I just don't know if Ben and Lowry can play together, with Ben being the passive offensive player that he is.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't be fully against it if I can get him on a discount.
Yeah, if I can bring him in for 10 million, 12 million, then sure, I'm in on that.
The next name, Colin Sexton. And this would be via trade.
I know there's been issues there. I think Colin Sexton's back.
So you think they'll extend him?
We said via trade.
Yeah, but it's the reason why they're going to trade. They're thinking about trading him now. It's because they're either going to extend him and make him part of their big time future, or trade him now a year early while because they don't want to lose him. You know what I'm saying? Because this is his final year of his deal. So they're either going to trade him now, get value, or they're just going to extend him.
No, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, they don't have to. My point is, like, they don't have to extend them now. They can wait. They can wait and keep him.
Yeah.
They can make him, like, see how he comes out and plays early on in the year, and then make their decision. They can still trade him then.
And he could be like the top. He could be the top trade deadline asset.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna say he stays still right now, because don't they have, what pick do they have this year? 4th, 3rd?
It's Pistons, Rockets. I think 3.
3, right? Okay.
I think so.
Okay. I knew they had like 3 or 4. So they're expected to get another good addition. So I mean, that's going to tell you in 10 days, like Don said, when the drafts come.
Isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy that it's only 10 days away? 10 days away.
So fast. So I mean, I think he can stay, and they'll try to see what they have.
I agree with a majority of the chat. I think Knicks. I think it makes a lot of sense. He's that instant scorer that they need, along with Randall and Barrett. And they have a ton of. They have the assets to where, like, we laugh at, like, when they say, "Oh, well, the Knicks are going to trade Barrett and Mitchell Robinson and Kevin Knox and picks." Like, there's no reason why Portland would do that, or a lot of teams would do that. The players that they would be willing to offer Cleveland, I think, would fit better with the picks. You know what I'm saying? I truly believe that makes too much sense. The next one, I know a player that both of us are really high on, Tom. We tried to get at the deadline. Where does Lonzo Ball end up? He's a restricted free agent, but all reports state that the Pelicans are not likely to match an offer if it's anything close to what it's being rumored, and that's he's gonna get a big offer from a team.
Yeah, I'm gonna go a route you probably didn't think I was gonna go. I'm gonna go with the New York Knicks. See, like, I know people had Sexton going there. I think they're looking for bigger and better, and that would be Lonzo Ball, a guy who's really turned his game around, developed the jump shot that people were critical of early on. It looks good, and is an all-around your definition of a prototypical point guard. Really good defender too. Doesn't get a lot of credit for that. I like Lonzo a lot, so I'm going to say Lonzo Ball ends up on the Knicks. I don't like that as a Sixers fan, but I think that's where Lonzo goes if they don't match him.
I love that team. I'm sorry, I love that option of a team. That was my second option. I'm going Chicago, though. They've been trying to get him they've been trying to get him since he was with the Lakers. Makes so much sense, along with Levine and Vucevic, and them trying to build their core down there. I think they'd be willing to pay it. I think they have the room to pay it.
Okay.
But if he doesn't land in Chicago, Knicks makes a whole hell of a lot of sense. And also they would be willing to pay it because they've had cap space for, it seems like, 7 years.
Yeah, I was more thinking on the lines of just the market, right? You know what I mean? Like, for him, like, that's a fucking huge market. Probably where you want to go to.
Dad would love it. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah, he would eat it up. 79 people watching on YouTube, 36 likes right now. Go need you to pound the like, pound and subscribe, and also go get your 20% off and free shipping with the code A2D at manscape.com. Unlock your confidence. Always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Make sure you go do that for us as well. And we also offer $9.99 a month memberships over on YouTube. They include appearances on shows, member-only live streams, shout-outs, weekly sports picks from Money Pop Podcast, who's been hot. So you're winning your money back, and daily fantasy advice from Willie Vegas. So, you get a lot over there. You get 20% off all A2D gear. You get 20% off all campus team hats. And I told Riley earlier, I got 1 million jerseys in when I was away for a week. They all flooded in. I got at least 20 of them here. We're going to be doing giveaways. John's our first winner because he's been here. He was the first member over there. So Johnny, message me over on Facebook. I'll let you know what jerseys I have because I'm going to let you handpick yours out since you were our first member. And then we'll start next week. We'll be giving one away to our members. And also, if you follow us over on socials, you can win jerseys over there as well. So try and take care of the people, man. We just out here taking care of people. So Right, drop that link in there for the members. Let's go, people. Get on over there. Become an HUD member. You're winning money, and you're getting discounts. You're getting everything. Getting a little bit of everything. All you need. And we're playing a little game right now for everybody just joining us on where we think guys end up. So the last guy was Lonzo Ball. Ryan had him going to Chicago. I had him going to the Knicks. So either or, that makes the basketball team better wherever he ends up.
The next one, Bradley Beal. Does he stay or does he go?
Stays.
I agree. What about his teammate, Mr. Westbrook? It wouldn't be an NBA offseason if there weren't Russell Westbrook trade rumors.
I feel like he gets dealt so much. That's why I feel like he stays. That's why he stays. He just moves so much. Like, is he getting moved again? I mean, I guess he could.
I had a really hard time with him because I'll ask you, Tom, as much as I don't like, just for him, like I get why people don't like him. I'm not a hater of Westbrook, and I know you're not either, Tom. Like I just want him to stay with a team for a couple of years. Just everybody relax with him. But do you honestly see that organization, the Wizards, just staying put?
Yeah, because they made the playoffs. When was the time they made the freaking playoffs?
And their big draft guy, Avdija, got hurt too. You know what I'm saying? Where they could
see their fan base, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? If you sit back like the fan base, like, we made the playoffs. Like, you know what I mean? Can they play together more and figure it out more, and can they go further? I agree with you, Spidey. Westbrook stays because Beal stays. I think they both stay. I really do. I don't know why, but they were my prediction of a sleeper to get in the playoffs last year. We're going to play a little. We're going to play a little game in a few here of that where we think teams end up next year before the draft and everything. So play a little real early game on where teams shake out next year. So I just think that they think they can be a good basketball team. So, you know, I think he stays.
I'll just say I'll just have fun with it, okay? And I'm more so doing this.
I don't agree with Brinks often. But no, I agree. Wizards got buried by an awful start. There'll be a higher seed next year. I agree, Rob.
They were one of the hottest teams in the second half too.
Yeah, once they figured it out a little bit and they learned to play together and they're both healthy on the court, you know, they showed you they can win games. So
they need a big man. They need to go out and get a big time names or just a better big man and a couple other guards or maybe one other guard. And then a few more shooters off the bench. That way Bertans isn't as important. But no, their core there, it's not that bad. It's not bad. I'm just thinking maybe they see a way to where they can blow it up and get a ton of assets, for example. I'll throw this one at you. And oh, by the way, I think Miami would make a ton of sense for Westbrook by a panic move if Miami's not able to get Lowry, Kawhi, Dame, Sexton. I could see them panicking and going after Westbrook.
Yeah.
And then Washington getting
they might be too smart for that as an organization.
Then I remember Pat Riley's there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, you know, we'll see what they do. I think they're better off. They'll be like somebody said earlier, they're really gritty Miami if they had Lowry and Jimmy Butler, just the way they go about their business as a team. They're a tough team. The East is a lot better, and especially if people stay.
Now, I'll just say this one, not a prediction. I just want to see how realistic you guys think it is. Westbrook to the Brooklyn Nets.
Westbrook to the Brooklyn Nets.
And I know what everyone's saying. Well, Ryan, what are they trading? Kyrie Irving to the Wizards. Is there any chance it happens?
Yeah. I mean, wow. All three of them again. Jesus.
Like
God.
I said, I'm doing that for fun. I'm not predicting.
No, it's fun. Like it's fun. That's why
Yeah.
I had to think about it for a second. I'm like, oh shit, wait, all three of them again. That's what I was thinking. I was like, wait, what? How are they all
And
going?
Brinkman, you're right, by the way. You're
That would be interesting. Yeah, why not? Why not they get the band back together, right? Get the band back together.
And Bradley could say, "Hey, Kyrie, hey," you know what I'm saying? Maybe he believes that's better.
Well, listen, I mean, the one thing is you know Westbrook's going to play games.
Yeah,
He ain't going to disappear. I mean, he might disappear because he shoots too much, but why not? Why not? Like, you know what? That's funny. That'd be funny. Yeah. Sure. Let him run it back.
Like you always see. Like, I just say that because there's always a weird one, right? There's always a weird trade, even if it's something small. This is not something small.
Yeah.
What is this? No, I see, Kyle. I would say this to you, bro.
They don't have enough.
They don't have enough. I truly believe because I know what I mean. I would imagine you're seeing the odds, right? Don't buy into the odds. I know it's Vegas and they predict everything. They don't have a trade package for it. And if Damian Lillard wants to go to the Knicks, I'm sorry, he's an idiot. I know the Eastern Conference is better, or it's easier to win, so it increases and they have a better chance to win. But you're going backwards. Unless he knows, hey, Kawhi Leonard's coming with me. You know what I'm saying? Like if they're talking in back channels to where I'm going to force a trade to New York and Kawhi is going to then sign with New York to where it's Randall, Dame, Kawhi. Yeah, but I just don't – they don't have the trade package for it. They don't have a top 3 trade package for it.
No, I agree. Yeah, I know everybody's saying it's been there, done that. I get it, but it'd just be funny.
What, the reunion?
Yeah, it'd be funny. They did it when they were younger, so it's not like they did it, they were younger.
They still don't have a big man. They still can't guard Embiid, but
yeah,
it'd be fun.
Lillard at this point of his career, he has to want to go to a team that's on the brink of winning now. Yes, Tyreek, that's why I still believe that he's. I said it after the year that he's probably going to want out because he just hasn't got over the hump and he can go other places and win, or at least compete to win. And if he's smart enough, this is the place he would want to go. He should want to go play with Embiid because again, it's the closest thing you're going to see to Shaq and Kobe if them two can team up together. It's just a different. You guys are going to be freaking, giving hand jobs out. That's how everybody's going to be giving handies out.
What is this? Jason Bennett? Did you guys hear the story on WIP about the Nets and them giving what? Some of their star players' houses?
For side checks?
We got safe houses? What? Safe
Wow.
house?
Jason, no, I did not hear that story. Makes sense. You know what I mean? Fucking Santos.
God. 2 more. DeMar DeRozan, free agent. Uh-oh.
Toronto. No, I'm just kidding.
No, that's Tom. That could happen.
I know it could.
I don't see why he would want to do that, but he could.
I don't know the money side of it, but how about the Clippers?
Can
they pull that off?
See, I have them pulling off another move. But yeah, I feel like in this day and age with the NBA, I feel like anything is possible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
especially if Kawhi's missing some time. I know they essentially the three of them can pretty much play the same position, but that doesn't matter. You know what I mean? That doesn't matter at all. So, I could see the Clippers on that one.
I'm going to go Dallas Mavericks. I'll say that they will
Who else
pair him up.
Mavericks too? Don't you have somebody else? Or was that
No, I was just saying that I've been trying to speak Kawhi to the Mavericks into existence, but I have him
somebody had a guard. I thought somebody had a guard earlier.
Somebody had Lowry to the Mavericks.
Okay, yeah, that's what it was. Okay.
But I see DeMar. He would actually be a really good fit along with Luka.
Oh yeah, I mean anything you can put along Luka that has a pulse is going to be a good fit.
The only issue is I don't know if they would be able to then re-sign Tim Hardaway. But I think you and I agree. DeMar's a better player than Hardaway. Hardaway's really good.
Yeah, I mean, DeMar's going to come up small in the postseason for you. But besides that,
Fair. I forgot. Yeah, especially if he's playing LeBron.
it's facts that fucking matter. DeMar's a good player, though.
And finally, a player that a lot of Sixers fans are trying to map out in a way to get here. I don't see it happening, though. Spencer Dinwiddie, free agent. I say this is the Clippers.
Yeah. I'm going to say oh my goodness. I don't know where he's going to go.
He's going to want a lot of money, apparently.
How much money does he want? Wants a max?
Oh, I hope he doesn't want a max. No, he's probably going to get a Brogdon deal. He's probably going to get around 20.
I'm going to say resign.
Okay. All right. Want to do a little splash or crash?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so fam, this one, we're going to go throughout the entire league, and we're going to say whether the team is a splash move away from being a big-time threat, or if they are just on the brink of crashing and burn.
Yep.
So we will start in the East. Miami Heat, splash or crash?
Well, I'll say splash because they'll move up the standings.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And they're trying to go all in. They're in any move, any player that's out there, they're involved.
They're having a conversation with. Yep.
So they're not going to stay put. And they have a ton of young pieces, whether it's Hero, Robinson, Ochua, picks that they're willing to go out and get.
Oh yeah, they're splashing. Splashing for sure.
Boston Celtics, splash or crash?
Well, Ryan, another low seed last year. I'm gonna say they splash.
Yep.
I'm gonna say they go up. You know, I think they're more the teams that, you know, when you talk about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they're those teams.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll say splash.
I would say the early wise, the Celtics are going to be one of the biggest movers upwards in the NBA. Because, like you said, Tom, what were they? 9 seed, 8 seed, something like that. They're at least going to be a top 5 seed, probably top 4. Tatum back, Jaylen Brown healthy. They're gonna work and get some more size. Kemba Walker didn't really move, and make sense there. They got Horford, so they're gonna try and revitalize that.
They're gonna go upwards. As they should. They got 2 young centerpieces of the team, and expect them guys to get better too. And Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum.
And I'll have to ask Nate as far as what the opening odds are for this, but Jason Tatum is my way too early prediction for MVP this year. Washington, say that again.
It's a good one. I mean, I think they got to be a top 3 seed to pull it off, but it's a good one.
Wizards, splash or crash?
Splash. If I had to do my early ones, if you gave my early ones right now, right? It's Philly, Nets, Milwaukee, anywhere of those in the top 3. They're my top 3 seeds, so you can just interchange them. After that, it's Miami, Boston, and Washington right now. I think is your top. Was that 7 or 6? Yeah,
top 7.
Top 7. There's your top 7 right now, in my opinion. So that would be a splash for them because they'd be going. They're going up.
Yep.
Not a lot, but enough to make
splashes. I almost think for them, sorry, Wizards fans, but I almost feel like this would be the time to blow it up and try and get top value for Beal, Westbrook, etc. We talked about that 3-team deal a few weeks ago. With say for example, Simmons ended up in Golden State and Beal ended up with the Sixers, and then the Wizards can end up with Wiseman picks, maybe Wiggins, and then they can either choose to try and compete with that along with Westbrook, or then trade Westbrook and get a ton of assets. But as much as I say that, then I go back to what we talked about a few minutes ago, Tom, and they were one of the hottest teams in the second half of the league, or second half of the year around the league. So with Avdia getting healthy and them having the ability to add a few pieces here and there, I do see them improving if they want to. And also Scott Brooks is out of the building, so anybody they hire would be better.
No, I saw love for the Hawks. Martian.
No love for the Hawks. Charlotte Hornets. Splash or crash?
Well, I guess they'll go up because they're probably more of my 8 right now.
They're just one of those teams that they just scream. I know they have Hayward. I know LaMelo's fun. Rozier's okay. They just scream like friggin' playoff bubble tournament team. They're going to be one of the 4 teams in the tournament that are going to be in the playing game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's what makes them more of a splash, because that's up for them.
Mm-hmm. Keeps them relevant.
Yeah.
Small market.
Oh, they could get. I mean, if they did this, yeah, that'd be fun. Else, splash. They about to get Lonzo. Wow. I mean, that would.
I feel like they have too many guards though.
But that would be no Rozier somehow, I would think.
Unless they have Lonzo come off the bench and then they got rid of some of the young guys.
Lonzo and LaMelo would be fun to watch. I mean, that'd be good for the league.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah.
Charlotte got the curse of MJ. Yeah. I mean, that's the best pick he's had. So I think that's going to change that franchise for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Malik Monks of the world and all that shit didn't pan out for him. So, I mean, at least he hit. He hit this year.
Toronto Raptors.
They're an easy crash to me.
Crash. Yep. Crash.
They've already started that. So
they have one guy to build around, and I don't believe in him. Pascal Siakam.
Yep, agreed.
The Hawks. Can I say neither?
Yeah, I think they're in the playoffs. You know what I mean? I don't know if they're in the playing game or if they're the 8th seed. You know, I know I did my early predictions. I don't know where they're going to end up, but I don't know how much I believe in it. I believe in Nate McMillan. I really like Nate. I almost said Mark for a second. Cornerback, Mark McMillan. I believe in Nate. He's a hell of a basketball coach. Trae Young, fucking tremendous. I just don't know if they were a lightning in the bottle group. People are saying one-hit wonders. Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I still think they're in the playoffs in some fashion, if that's in the playing game, if that's, whatever. I think they go down a little bit from where they were. That's all. I think they go down. So I'll go crash in terms of them dropping in the standings.
For everyone saying they're going to make a splash, what move signifies splash? Like, John Collins, I don't consider him a splash.
Why they don't bring him back? So I mean, they have situations there too. I mean, they really played well this year. Ton of credit to them. They're tough. They're well coached. Again, that's why I think they're in the playoffs still. I just don't know in what fashion and what seed. I don't know. I feel like they're more of that one-hit wonder in a way. I agree with people. And not one-hit wonder is they're going one-hit wonder in terms of Eastern Conference Finals. I think they crash in terms of that. I think they could be a first-round exit as much as they could be an Eastern Conference Finals team. Right? You know what I mean? They have the capabilities of two things. They have the capabilities of being in a playing game knockout, or 3 things. Being in the playoffs and getting knocked out in the first round, or maybe catching lightning in the bottle again and being an Eastern Conference Final team. I just think these other teams are way better. I just do. But we'll see. It's not played on paper.
Yeah, and not only are they,
well coached, so they're going to be somewhere.
Yeah, and honestly, it's not about just other teams being better. It's clear what they're trying to do, and that's they're going to build with the progression of their young players. With Herter, with Trey, obviously with Reddish, DeAndre Hunter. It's about, okay, we spent the last handful of years picking all of those guys. We are going to build through, homegrown talent. if there's a free agent like a Danilo Gallinari or like a Lou Williams or Rajon Rondo that are available that can help, fill in the gaps, yeah, of course. A veteran like Clint Capella, yeah. But to your point, Tom, with a lot of other teams, not only in the NBA, but in the Eastern Conference that are projected to make these splash type moves, can Hunter end up being way better next year and healthy? Sure. Herter getting better, Trae Young getting better. I want to see what Trae Young does with the new rules to where he can't initiate contact. That's something to make note of. But I just think they're just going to go along with the progression of their young stars. And maybe this time next year, if DeAndre Hunter or Cam Reddish don't improve like they should, then they'll make the splash. But I just see them being one of those teams that'll hang around, to be honest. I don't really see either. I think this is the easiest one for both of us, Tom. New York Knicks, splash. They have to. They have to spend money somewhere. And it's the first year they're a destination. Indiana Pacers.
Yeah, crash, I guess.
Well, that Rich Hoffman rumor that we talked about earlier, that makes me think they want to crash, because I don't understand why they would want to give us LeVert and Brogdon. It's tough because they have Sabonis, who I love. And if you continue what they have and you have, Holiday and LeVert and Brogdon and TJ Warren, that's a fun team, but I just don't see them going anywhere. So I would say crash.
Don't see it either.
Let's see, next team. The Orlando Magic.
Yeah, irrelevant.
Who cares? You know what I'm saying? Who cares? Let me see here. The Bulls, Chicago Bulls. I'll go splash.
I'll go same.
Pistons.
Same.
Cavaliers.
Same. They're all down there. You know what I mean? They're all at that lower level. There's nothing to crash off of.
And then the three top teams, Bucks. Same. Nets.
Same.
They got to get a big man. They got to get benched. But yes, same. They're not going to get another Harden. And Sixers.
All right, I think they're on the same. I mean, they're the 1 seed.
Then we go to
splash them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I would just say splash them just because they're projected to make a splash move. You know what I mean? So, like, even if you have them staying the same, do we think they're going to make a splash type move or blow it up type? You know what I mean?
Oh, I think they're going to get Damian Lillard, so I'm going to say splash.
Yep. Don, do you say Pistons big splash because of the number 1 pick?
Yeah, well, we already know who that's going to be. I don't think they like are head and shoulders better than they are now. So,
let's start at the bottom, work our way up in the West. Rockets.
Shit.
Yep. Thunder. I'll ask you this, Tom. Do they move Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? Do you buy into the rumors?
No, I don't think they're moving them. I think they're the same.
Okay, so they keep him and then they go with the 95 picks train.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota Timberwolves.
Same.
I said in the East that the Celtics would be my biggest mover. Because I have Simmons going there. I have Minnesota making the biggest move in the West, so I would go big splash. Sacramento.
Same.
I'll go crash. It's not working. I think they're going to trade Heald, Harrison Barnes. They're going to get rid of. It's just not working. Pelicans.
Well, they're probably more of a crash.
Yeah, I mean, do you see them keeping Ingram? Do you see them keeping Zion?
Well, I think they keep Zion. I just don't know. Like, they're just a crash in terms of going forward.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's how I'm basing myself off. Like, are they going to be better? No, probably not.
The Spurs? See, I think the Spurs are the most confusing team out of all this because they're a team when we talked about like the big player destinations, they're a team that can hang around and sign one of these people. Or they could just blow it up. They can trade, a handful of their guys.
Yeah, it's interesting what they want to do. But, I mean, I don't know what direction they want to go in. I really don't. I mean, I'm sure Pop wants to win.
Yeah, like as long as he's there, I don't see them blowing it up. But like with their core, I mean, I know they have Walker and DeJounte and Keldon Johnson. That's not good enough in the West.
No, not at all. I don't know. They are that tough team. I don't know what direction they want to go, especially with Pop there. So I'll say that they get better. That's not a splash, but I'll say that they're better.
Okay. Golden State Warriors. Do you buy into the reunion of bringing back Clay, or not bringing, just having Clay back and then running it back with them?
Yeah, I think they're better. They're a splash.
Do you think if we get a healthy Clay, Steph, and Draymond, along with Wiseman, and kind of the core that they have, do you view them as a top 4 seed in the West?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I at least top 5. I mean, they're there. They're right in it with everybody else. Mm-hmm. They absolutely are.
Memphis Grizzlies. See, I don't have them either because I think they're just going to run it back with what they have.
Yeah, I mean, they are what they are. I'm not going to say splash or crash with them.
Lakers.
I mean, they should be better.
It's better than a 7th seed, right?
Yeah, so I mean, I'll say splash in terms they should be better.
It's all about if they stay healthy. That's the issue.
Oh, it's a big time issue there. Guys are only getting older.
I think we both know where this team's going. Trailblazers, because we have Mr. Lillard coming here.
Yeah, I think they stay similar though in terms of the splash or crash. Like I think they're a playoff team. If Ben Simmons is there, where I have him, I don't have him in Minnesota. I have him there.
Okay.
I still think they're a playoff team.
Yeah, I'll go crash here. I mean, they could end up being a play-in game type team, but I see them dipping a little bit. Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, they dip, but they're just not.
They're not going to be 15th in the West.
Yeah,
they're not going to bottom out. Okay. Dallas.
Well, splash. I think somebody's going there. Mm-hmm. I just don't know who. Somebody will probably go there and team up with Luka. So I'll say splash in terms of that.
If they had DeRozan, along with, say they kept Porzingis and you have DeRozan.
Yeah, they're splash. They're better.
Top 5 seed? Top 4?
Yeah. They could, even with Luka, I could even make an argument they could be even better than that. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, that dude's something different, and he's only, he's getting more. He's just getting better. Just getting better. So I mean, could they? Yeah. And they could make a big move. DeRozan's a solid move. I want to say it's huge, but it makes him better. And if it's somebody that's even better than him, then who knows? But yeah, I think they're only going up. They're only on the up.
4 more. Clippers.
Well, a lot's going to depend on Kawhi. And I just saw the rumor on Twitter about that Jared was saying earlier in the chat that, Ben, Maxey, pick to the Clippers. Sixers get back Paul George. That's interesting.
Can I just ask you this? Okay. Thank you for bringing that up because I completely forgot. How would that work with Doc Rivers and Seth Curry? Like, is that even, like, how are they not fighting in the locker room?
I don't know.
I'm not even saying because the family stuff. I'm saying what Paul George and Doc said about each other after the bubble.
Yeah. I don't know how that works. My initial reaction is, no. What are we doing? But I guess if he signs off on it, God, okay. I guess everybody, there's peace.
Like, remember when we talked a few months ago, Tom? Well, I think it was on a Wednesday. We talked about our most hated NBA players, and Paul George is at the top of the list for me.
Yeah.
He, in the latter part of these playoffs, he changed my opinion of him in a big way. For this reason, I want to see if you buy into this. I'm not saying the Clippers are better without Kawhi. I'm not doing that. But you saw what happened for the first time, arguably since he was with Indiana, when he kind of had to have his team go based off of him.
Yeah. He
You
played.
saw in OKC, he had to learn to play with Carmelo Anthony and Westbrook. Here, he had to learn how to play with Kawhi Leonard. When it was just Paul George and Terrence Mann and Reggie, he was playing aggressive as hell. That's the problem with Paul George. That's what drove me nuts. It's that he turns into the passive playoff P. When it's just him that runs the offense,
He steps up.
he's a friggin' monster. That's Indiana. That's why he was donned, the next LeBron type thing. I know everyone's deemed the next LeBron because people get out of the way, but my question is, if that mindset comes to the Sixers, well, yes, Embiid's not going to affect Paul. You know what I'm saying? Like they're two separate entities.
No, it absolutely would work on the basketball court. Does the conversation is, does it work does it work in the locker room?
Yeah.
And that's why I think that trade's crazy.
Yeah. It's so tough too, because we long for that killer mentality, right? And I'm not saying Paul George is at the top of it, but what he was,
other names.
He's a flat out killer. He showed he was a killer if he needs to be.
He's better than the Levines of the world. He's a better name than them. He's proven he can play in the playoffs, and he's proven that he cannot, but he's proven also that he can.
Mm-hmm.
And you team him up with a big man, it changes a lot. How
old is he, Tom? 32?
I don't know how old Paul George is.
So that's the thing too. It's like, do I gotta play the age game? I mean, I know we're coveting for Dame, but he just turned 31. But that 1 year could be a big difference, especially with Paul George. Let me see.
He is 31.
Did he just turn?
No, he'll be 32 in May. So, yeah.
Okay. That's interesting, though. It's interesting.
It is. I say no to it because of the extra. So.
Oh yeah, I mean that is the definition of a fantasy trade, because I would literally fall on the ground if that happened.
Yeah.
Just based off of shock.
Mm-hmm.
And because I would get in my own head because
I would wonder if Doc's leaving. You know what I mean? Like I would start wondering if Doc leaving.
Yeah.
Red, later, brother.
Later, Red. Thanks, brother.
100 Dylan Hurts for Xavier Howard. Yes, love it. Love it.
Please.
Love it.
A couple more. Utah Jazz. I'm going Crash.
I think they're going to say about the same.
Okay.
They'll say about the same.
Phoenix.
I think Chris Paul's back there, so I think they're about the same.
And finally, the Denver Nuggets.
Better. I don't know if it's a splash, but I think they'll be a little bit better.
I mean, I believe they would still have Aaron Gordon, so they would have their team at beginning.
Gordon stinks, but yeah,
extremely overrated.
Stinks, but they had the MVP of the league, so they're going to be
and they're getting Jamal back.
Yeah, he's not going to be hurt next year, Troy. He'll be ready to play.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't matter. I mean, they're still good without him. So I think they'll be the same. I don't think they're crashing I don't think they're crashing.
So the last thing I'll ask you, Tom. So I named my two biggest movers in the NBA way too early wise. I have the Celtics being the biggest mover in the East and Minnesota being the biggest mover in the West. Who are your two biggest movers?
Well, I think the Sixers get Dame. So that would make them the biggest mover in the East if they pull that off. And then in the West, I'm going to say I gotta know their money situation. but I'll say the Dallas Mavericks. Like I gotta look at all their money and what maxes they can give and what they can do. But I think they're a mover and a shaker in some fashion. Like they are finding somebody to team up with him. I am not sure who that's going to be, but the Dallas Mavericks absolutely are. I mean, that's their star player. They have to because his contract's coming up, and I know he said, "Well, why wouldn't I sign it?" Oh, that that was fun, but still, when the fork hits the road, if you don't do certain things for guys, they might not sign it. So I think they are all out to try to help him.
Yeah.
Doug McBuckets. I mean, dude, I'll take it, Cal. I'll take anybody, brother, that can shoot. You know what I mean? Anybody that can shoot.
Yep. No, I hear you. That's
supposed to be important, Riz. You know what I mean? He said he can expect it. Expecting it and what goes on behind closed doors is different.
Mm-hmm.
I think he already set a match a little bit to that fire of being dealt. I mean, by his initial comments.
Yeah, Dennis, like that's where I laugh at. Not you, because we've all read the same thing. Minnesota wants Simmons, but they don't want to give up Cat, Edwards, or D'Lo. Okay, well then you're not getting Simmons.
Yeah.
That's simple.
Nancy has the Pelicans in the West, Bulls in the East.
Yeah, Tom, I know, but those Bulls they're coming.
We'll see. We'll see.
I mean, God, they better hope they are for that deal they made for Vucevic.
I mean, Levine already in protocol now for the USA team. Might be the best thing for the USA team. Him not playing.
Freaking Keldon Johnson playing for the Stars and Stripes.
Yeah, it's crazy. Their last lineup on the court last night was like, what?
I saw Sweeps thought it was Willie Cauley-Stein. I'm like, nope, that's somehow worse. It's JaVale McGee.
It was bad. It was bad. But hopefully, they're getting reinforcements by the time the Olympics come around. So they're getting three studs. So they'll be all right. They'll be all right. Well, they better be. They better be. If they do anything less than gold, that's a problem. So
yeah.
Listen, fucking fun show.
Yes, sir.
Fun show. Would love to dive into. We have plenty of time here to be diving into the Eagles shortly. Hopefully they make some moves
next week
and get some guys and upgrade this a little bit. I know the NFL rankings, NFL Live was doing them. They had him 30th.
Do they really?
We were 30th. Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna be good then.
Yeah. That might be the blessing in disguise. I was like, oh my God, we're already 30th. Like I thought they would have us 22, 24.
I gotta look it over on it. Maybe we'll do that next week. The over-unders. I gotta see that because I remember when they first came out, there were some ridiculous ones. Maybe we'll do that.
Yeah, we can have some fun with it. I still think they might be having them. They might be moving and shaking a little bit here too. I just can't believe they're going to go into this season as this being their cornerback room. So if that's the case, then fuck everybody. You know what I mean?
I really buy into the Xavier Howard thing. I
do too. It makes a ton of sense. You need to take the football away. Somebody in the house say, "Hey, we need to take the football away." Somebody, Nancy, let's go, baby! Right around the corner.
Listen. As bad as this summer, the latter part of the summer looked a couple weeks ago, with the Phils playing better, with the entire division kind of crumbling right now. I mean, DeGrom out, Lindor out.
Yeah.
The Acuna out.
Well, yeah. Hopefully,
making some.
Yeah. Sorry. Well, yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah, I was gonna say we could be making big splash moves, and you have the NBA draft next week, and then friggin' Eagles right around the corner.
Yeah, I mean. It's probably going to be bad, but I'm hoping, praying to God it's going to be good.
Well, but this is the best thing. At least we can spend August pretending to be hopeful.
Oh, I've been hopeful. I think they're going to win the division. I can't get any more hopeful than that.
Oh, there you go.
I always expect to be disappointed, but I got a weird feeling. Everybody had Washington was going to stink last year. I got a weird feeling that they're going to be good this year.
I see everyone betting on Washington to win the division. It's like, Jesus, God, come on now. I know Fitzpatrick kills us.
I think Dallas is better than them. So we'll see how this shakes out. But we got to get a cornerback in the house before I can really if we got Xavier Howard, I'm telling you, we're winning the division because I think our defense is really good, and that's just the facts of the matter.
Yep.
And we're fighting we're fighting that fire with water that we talk about all the time. Real
and
big
we got
time.
Devontae. And you know what I'm saying? We get best of both worlds.
Yeah, and we got Devontae. And now we're like, okay, we're rebuilding, but we're coming at you still here too. You know what I mean? Because then we got 3 first-round picks next year. So come on. We're only going to get better. Hopefully. Got to hit the picks. But I think I think they're going to win games this year. I don't know why. I just think right now, as constructed, I think they can win games. They really win the division for me to really come out and say, yo, I guarantee it, right? Like really believe it deep down. They got to go get like a Xavier Howard. So we'll be talking Eagles plenty, people. You know this. You know that. Phillies deadline right around the block. We'll continue to update you there. Talk about everything going on with the Phillies. Playing good baseball. Got to continue it. Real good showing to come out of the break. I think 3 or 4 from Miami, a team that always somehow gets the better of you. A lot of names mentioned. I know today that they were the number 1 landing spot for Craig Kimball, I read, in a couple places. So really? Well, yeah, we'll see how all this shakes out. But exciting times. Hey, right, great show. Like always.
Same to you, brother. Same to you.
And Monday Morning Quarterback is always brought to you by our friends over at the Counseling Center and Sunrise Detox. We know many of us in our families deal with mental health and addiction issues. We're happy to support both the Counseling Center and Sunrise Detox. If you need help, please call our boy Rob Lutman, 856-651-8117. Let him know we sent you to get any help you need to get. And guess what? Get 20. Help your pubes out. Help your balls out. Help everything out. Help the smell you out. I mean, you smell better. The deodorant, the cologne, the ball wipes. My goodness gracious. I mean, you get so many different things, and then you can clean yourself up. The weed whacker for your nose and your ears. It's just a ton of products for everything. Get 20% off and use free shipping with the code A2D at manscape.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. That's Ryan Brodo. I'm Tom Arnone. Trim them, boys. Get your trim on everything. Nose, ears. Be a load of waste. Yeah, cleaning yourself up. Start smelling better. For your lady, for whatever.
I don't even know if
better.
Can you hear that, by the way?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay.
Trim her up. Feel good. Everybody feels good. Oh my goodness. Yep. A lot of smacking going on when you start smelling better. Cleaned up. Maybe you get a freebie. Maybe you get a freebie from the old lady. You know? Say, listen, I'm gonna go clean up nice for you tonight. It's like almost her putting on lingerie if you cleaning yourself up. You know what I mean? You come in clean. No, I hope the song. Such an issue. Appreciate you all out there. We love you all. Turn your alerts on. Sports Sound's coming up around 7, followed by the boys on the Flight Zone. So continued coverage, continued sports talk here on A2D. It never ends. If you haven't hit the like, hit it now. If you haven't hit the subscribe, hit it now. If you haven't hit the follow, do it now. Do it. We love y'all. We out.